I'm ready to see you, MAFDOMiNUS. It's finally nice to hear from you again after 6 months. Are you finally done with that passion project? Yeah, I finally got the first draft done. By the way, your first book has finally reached into the 100,000, so that's good. It was definitely profitable by a small margin. But don't get cocky, you're not Stephen King levels of famous yet. Well, I sure can try to be, right? One successful book doesn't mean that you're a really famous millionaire. It just means you now have more opportunities to publish more of your stories. So, pitch me your next idea. Right, so after my first book, which, as you already know, is a science fiction galaxy war type of thing for children, I decided to move on to a new genre that's for a completely different target demographic. But it is something that I have been working on ever since I was a teenager, so it is a little bit rough on the edges, but I've taken years to perfect this story. It was definitely messy when it first began, but I have been making refinements. Shoot! So the story is about this guy named Michael, and when he was in high school, he thought he was entitled to the love of this girl named Angela. But when Angela rejects him, he had to learn to become a better person, and as he grew up as into an adult, he managed to find an actual woman who he was compatible with. And he even starts a family, but then suddenly the universe, this godlike being comes in and interferes. Oh, wait, let me stop you right there. Okay. Look, MAFDOMiNUS, you're really creative. I mean, I can see that right now. This is actually kind of an excellent and intriguing story, but it's not the kind that really sells a whole lot of books. I'm not saying that your story is a bad idea. It's a really interesting concept. It's just that it's also a very risky story. There's just so many genres and twists around in this story that there's just too many unknown factors here, like what is the demographic for this story and how many people would actually buy this. This idea is just too risky to be published in your career so early on. But Jeremy, I'm not doing this for the money. I really like this idea and story, and I just want to be able to tell it to a lot of people. I can genuinely— I'm not saying this to be mean or anything, Math. And I don't think it would be a bad story. I know you can write pretty well. But let me explain something. Right now, you're at the level where you're an unknown writer who's just breaking into the industry with a really good book. That's good and all. But you're not a household name yet. Which means you're not at the level where selling your book guarantees sales because of your name on it. So you have to stick to less risky stories and more safe stories, because safe stories guarantee a wider appeal and thus more of a chance for profitability. I know it sounds like greedy corporate capitalism, but that's just how it works. Business needs profits to survive, and your story is just way too risky and unknown to be published at this time. Now, I'm not saying it will never get published. What I am saying is you need to build up your portfolio a bit, work your way up to become an established writer, and then you'll be able to publish the kinds of stories that you want to without the publishers being afraid of taking any risks. Yeah, I get it. I'm still an unknown, so I'm not a guaranteed sell. I got it. I guess I can keep working on the story and make a little bit more refinements and all of that bull crap. Still smell fry. I guess I just still have to keep on making sci-fi stories. Maybe one day I'll finally be able to publish the stories I actually want to tell.
Welcome back, MAFDOMiNUS, to our therapy session. You may begin whenever.
Where do I even start? I guess I should start from the beginning, I guess. Sorry, I've never done therapy before, so I know it's kind of weird that I have to spill out everything about myself, but okay, so. Well, I'm a dinosaur, obviously, but I'm not an ordinary dinosaur. I'm an Indominus Rex. Now, that's not a normal species. It's a hybridization between a lot of dinosaur species created in a lab for entertainment purposes. A genetically modified hybrid that shouldn't even exist in the natural world, but here I am. 10 years ago, my mother rampaged in Jurassic World and basically destroyed the entire park. It shut it down, and the Masrani Company's reputation was in the hole. She was killed, eaten by a mosasaur, but what the Jurassic World staff didn't know was she had me. She secretly reproduced asexually and had a son, who was me. So, I'm basically the only member of my kind. My earliest memories is I remember I was lonely on that island and very scared. There was just so many other things that wanted to eat me. And then these mercenaries or secret agents arrived on the island. They were probably collecting something. I don't know if it was entirely legal, but that's when I met my dad. He knew I was smarter than any other dinosaur, so he took me in and raised me as his own. I didn't feel so lonely anymore. I finally had somewhere to belong. I even had an older brother. His name was Zilla. I think he legally changed his name because, well, he was trying to be in Hollywood and all that, but then his movie wasn't that successful. It was kind of a joke, but he still had some brand deals, and I think people are going easy on him nowadays. But still, he was an older brother of mine, right? He messed with me, and I messed with him, but in the end, we still loved each other. It was a good childhood.
You certainly had a bad start. Early childhood trauma can still linger, even after given a better childhood and living conditions. But without getting too personal, I understand that you're a dinosaur living in human society. You're one of the dinosaurs that were created with human intelligence. What was it like outside of your family?
Well, I guess outside of my family, it was still hard. Like, before the first dinosaur was ever brought back, I was aware of a world where kids loved dinosaurs. They read books about them and were fascinated by them. But now that they actually live alongside them, living like people, it's different. It doesn't sound like how it was back then. I wasn't always invited to sit next to the other kids during school. At lunch, at group projects, I was always seen as a little weird. And not just because I was a dinosaur, but because I was an Indominus Rex.
Sons of the father, or in this case, sons of the mother. The reputation of the Indominus Rex of Jurassic World precedes you, even if you're nothing like your psychotic mother. You must remember that. You are not your mother. You are your own person, or a dinosaur.
I know, but this is something that goes beyond my childhood.
Oh?
It's hard to make friends in real life, but in the internet, it was completely different. I started to review movies and web series, and I was happy, and I met people online.
So you still got the basic social interactions.
Yeah, it finally felt nice to finally be a part of a community. I guess that's kind of what I've always wanted. Ever since I was a little hatchling, I just wanted to be with other people, hang around and play. I don't know, whatever random stuff we do, as long as I just had others. And sure, my family was there for me, don't get me wrong, but family can't always be there for everything. Sometimes you just want friends, a much larger community. And growing up, it was hard because I was a freak, even among my own kind. I never really fit in, and it was so lonely for many years. And then I had a community on the internet, and it felt nice. And then I started growing up, and you realize these internet people, you can't hang out with them at the mall, at a bar, or anything like that. It's all long distance interaction, and that made me lonelier. Now, I did had some real life friends from high school, but then they grow up too. And they moved on to different paths. Got careers that made them busier, that didn't want to hang out because not because they hated me, but they just couldn't. And when you only have your family just to hang around with, it's not that I'm ungrateful for my family or anything. It's just it gets lonely. There are just some things that I feel like friends are capable of doing that family can't always do. Like serving different emotional needs, and I've always just wanted to be a part of a friend group, of a larger community bigger than myself. And the internet gave me that for a long time, but now that I'm a grown adult and I have a job, I'm a writer, it's not the same as it was before. It's not the same. And I feel lonely again. You know, I've been doing the web series for almost 10 years now. I have a good career in that, and I have a good career in my writing right now. It pays well, it's just there's no one else to share it with.
Well, I'd like to give him some more time, but our time is up.
I didn't realize our time was up. Okay, yeah, I should probably get going now. I'll see you in the next session. Man, who knew Cthulhu was a good listener? Zilla, I'm home. I need myself in this. There's some pizza in the kitchen if you want some.
This is not okay. This is not okay. Honestly, we're doing you a big favor. No, you guys, please.
Oh, UDP45 was caught in 4K. Pizza? Again? Sheesh, when are we gonna get something that's actually good for us to eat? You know, something a little healthy. Well, neither of us know how to cook. And it's fast food. So, pizza is going to have to do. Oh, and by the way, did you get your book published? No, not today, Zilla. It didn't get published because, well, you know, publishers, they like profit before they like risk. Great. Cheese pizza. What are you watching anyways? Oh, just watching ETP405 ruin his life. It cheers me up whenever I'm feeling down. Oh, look, here goes my favorite part. He's waddling away. It always cheers me up because whenever you feel down and you feel like you're losing all hope in life, well, at least you're not EDP. Yup, that's one way to feel better. Well, anyways, I'm gonna hit the hay. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, good night. There we go. Wait. There we go. Much better. Let's hope tomorrow is a much better day.